Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Scorched Earth Toys at Anymoon.com's review of Bandai's movie version strike/super parts for their DX VF-1 toys. These items were available exclusively through the Tamashii website for 8,800 yen inclusive of tax. As an exclusive, they were limited to Japanese addresses, so they're a little tough to hunt down. Making things even tougher was the collecting community's fear that Bandai would be slow to reissue these after future VF-1 releases. Demand was so tremendous that Bandai shut the pre-order window down not long after it started. They later reopened a window for parts shipping in April, so if you really want these, you can likely save a few bucks by waiting to grab them after the next wave gets shipped. If you're shopping for almost anything else made of plastic, head on over to Big Bad Toy Store through my campaign link in the comments below to show your support for this channel and get the toys you crave. Your parts will arrive in a brown shipper box. Inside, you'll find a retail box that looks pretty slick and matches the height and width dimensions of your DX VF-1 toy for easy storing. Within the retail box, you'll find a plastic tray that includes a full set of strike parts, an extra missile bay to convert to super parts, swap out Jolly Roger logos for Roy, Max, and Kakazaki, a new fighter mode display stand adapter made of several clear plastic parts that require assembly, and behind the plastic tray you'll also find instructions. Here's a photo of those instructions. You can also find this on anymoon.com, and I'll walk you through the contents to kick this review off. These parts will work with any DX VF-1 toy, and to drive that point home, I'm going to use a Max 1A for the installation here. This is your leg armor piece that goes on the back of the leg. It's got a horizontal and vertical peg that line up to the slots in the back of the leg, and you just line them up and press in, and it'll fit on there nice and secure. You can see a couple slots on the end. Nice painted on detail there. This is your leg armor. Also very nice paint applications. Unfortunately, there's no ability to pop this outside armor off to reveal mechanical internal detail. This is it. This is what it is. You just take these pegs here and push them in. You'll also notice there are little pegs up front that go into little slots on the inside of the leg, and there you go. Once installed, should be nice and secure. One nice aspect of the forearm armors are the lack of screws. You might always have screws on the back of the armor. It's so nice and clean that you might put these armors on backwards or on the wrong arm. The paint application for the gun, this little dotted line here, should go forward on the arm like so. And there you go, you just peg it right on, piece of cake. Here is the strike cannon with plenty of nicely painted on details there. Even one down here that would totally get burnt off by the thruster, which is articulated. We do have a pivot point right here and another pivot point at the base, so you can get flat across or even pointing down while on the backpack. There is a nice big clear lens on top, big nice cannons. We can remove the strike cannon, and we can also remove this armor panel here, and that will reveal a little bit of engine detail, really just where it could have poked through from that window there. Nothing up front, which is going to be a bummer for some people, but what that does allow is for you to get a finger in to pop off the little Jolly Roger logo and replace it with one from the different vehicles. Just press fit right on there, and we swap this on. And now it is a Max style booster. Take our extra missile tower, plug that in, nice and solid, very secure, and now we're ready to put that backpack on. Bandai used the same attachment for the backpack parts as Yamato did with their 160 version 2 toy. That means they gave us this plate that slides in underneath the backpack. So what you do is you take a toy, open up the wings, and you just slide that in underneath, and it's gonna just get that all lined up, and it'll go right in like so. And then there's a peg up on the backpack, and it should just find its little slot. There it goes. And now what we're gonna do is just take the other one, and I've disconnected my leg, so we'll attach that, and just slide that on to the backpack, and it should pop right into place just like that did. Now, the unfortunate aspect of that is that if we went to transform this toy, the big head laser wouldn't be able to go through without opening that backpack,
and you can't open that backpack anymore. So it's no longer a perfect transformation accessory. It might work for something like the VF-1J, which has the smaller lasers off to the side, but it definitely wouldn't work for your VF-1A toys. Parts go on the toy and stay on the toy very smoothly and solidly, with the possible exception of this arm armor on either side. A little bit loose, as you can see, and the arm joints are pretty stiff on the toy. So when you go to move the arm, you might pop off the arm armor. Otherwise, everything's staying on there very nice and solid. One little quibble I have, I wish the little cones of the thrusters had dark paint inside them. There are lots and lots of them all over this toy. They all could have used that, including those big ones in the back. So very minor quibble, but one thing I could have liked to have seen on this toy. The strike cannon operation comes down, and if you want to get it completely flat, you just keep going down and you'll see it pulls forward like so. All right, let's continue on to gerwalk mode. Parts still looking fab-boo in gerwalk mode. If I wanted to, I could use the display stand with the same adapter, just like Vatroid mode that I use without the strike parts. I've taken off those missiles. They don't come with the strike parts. I don't want to mislead you. These missiles are a sold separate accessory. So here you go. Now, I did complain earlier about the attachment of the cradle to these backpack boosters, but the one real positive here is look how solid that is. They're not going anywhere. So in that regard, the attachment cradle, a positive aspect. So negative, doesn't allow perfect transformation. Positive, everything rock solid. All right, let's continue on to fighter mode. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but fighter mode, honestly, not very fun. And a big part of that has to do with these pegs in the back. So as you can see, none of them are flush with either the armor or the arms. It's just not very good. They did not come up with a good system of mounting either the arms or the leg armors. Everything is slip fit vertical, and the tolerances aren't so great that you don't have to worry about things sliding down at all. There should be notches in the pegs that go in the arms because they're on sliders, and then they would just slide back into position and be locked in place. There should be lips on these pegs that go into the leg armors, and then they would hold everything together. Now, as it is, if you push things up, fortunately, the legs will stay in place. But as I handle this, I have popped those legs off a few times, and pushing this up high enough to make sure they're secure is a little unnerving, so I am not a fan at all. This is definitely a step backwards from where we were with the Yamato 160 version 2 armors, and that just simply should not be the case. While I am bummed about the attachment of the leg armors, the good news is you do get the new display stand adapter, which is necessary because the legs are at a little bit different of an angle. It consists of two pieces that just snap together and then a front and back peg that hold those pieces together. And as you can see, it attaches plenty firmly. There's still pegs in the front and then little hooks that come in behind the kneecap. It's going to be rock solid for you. No issues there.
Nah, I'm a little bummed because I expected more from these parts. At this point, I'm almost convinced Bandai is holding back so they could release an even bigger and more expensive toy somewhere down the line. While the pegs for the legs are adequate for the toy without strike parts, they really should be reworked on future releases to achieve a more secure fit to make Super Fighter Mode toys more enjoyable to handle. Fortunately, these strike parts are pretty enough to get by on their looks alone, so if you want to strike DX VF-1, there's nothing here that should scare you off. Check out my full review on anymoon.com, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching.